Every so often, you come across a piece of gear that does something special, that somehow fits what you are going for and what you practically need in almost a magical way. For me, I got a glimpse of that in this beautiful but really flawed camera, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you are looking for a practical, easily pocketable film camera to bring with you as you journey through life, then this camera might just be the best money that you could spend on your photography. Well, maybe. Let's find out. Meet the Ricoh GR1. Released in 1996, it's amongst the smallest and lightest film cameras out there. And at only 175 grams, it's lighter than an iPhone. It comes in silver and black, and it's so sleek that it disappears into your pocket, always ready to be whipped out when the moment calls for it. With its amazing 28mm f2.8 lens, it gives pictures that rival the quality of lenses that cost multiple times the price. It does have a tiny bit of distortion if you place straight lines at the edges, but besides that, it gives you clear, finely detailed pictures and it handles backlight really well, so I don't think its picture quality will ever let you down. When it comes to exposure, everything is automatic, but you do have some control over aperture on the top. You can set it from f2.8 to f22 in half-stop increments, and if you do that, the camera decides what shutter speed to use, and if you set it to P, the camera decides everything. Now you can't manually set the ISO, so it reads the code that is printed on your film canister, but there is an exposure compensation dial, so if you're pushing film, you can use that. It has an optical viewfinder with 28mm Framelines, along with center point autofocusing. But what makes it truly quick and fast is its manual focus features, which is what I use 95% of the time. By pressing the menu button, you can set the camera to two different preset focusing points, snap and infinity. Snap pre-focuses the lens to 2 meters, which is perfect for full body portraits, and if you want to include more of the environment. And you can use infinity when you're making pictures of things that are far away. One of the best things about this camera is its built-in flash, which you switch on at the back. Especially on film, it allows you to create a certain style of picture, and when combined with its 28mm perspective, it brings a very distinct type of energy to your pictures, which I love. To load film, you just open the back, put a roll in, and the camera does everything. Something quirky about this camera is that instead of advancing each frame out of the canister as you shoot, then fully rewinding everything when you're done, it actually unrolls all the film out of the canister, then slowly rewinds each frame back into the canister as you shoot. And that's great because if you accidentally open the film door with film still inside, all the pictures that you have made so far would be safe and sound already wound into the film canister. Its build quality is not very hardy or dense, so it can't withstand too many drops. And there are also a few very common failure points that you'd want to be aware of before buying one. The motor that brings the lens in and out of the camera as you switch the camera on and off frequently dies, so one day you might find that the lens just doesn't come out anymore, and the frame lines in the viewfinder are illuminated by an LED, which will fade and become invisible over time. Finally, the LCD at the top will die too, so the frame counter will slowly lose a few digits here and there, finally going completely blank. But despite all its flaws and the temporary nature of it, for me personally, it's amongst the best $500 that I've ever spent on a piece of film photography gear, even though it died on me 1 year in. That's because it fulfills a gap in my photography that other film cameras simply can't. When I find myself in situations when I only have one free hand to make a picture, but something grabs my eye. In situations when I don't have time to manually focus or set the exposure. When I don't have space to conveniently bring a full-sized camera, like when I'm at the gym in the middle of a workout, or when I'm on location for a shoot having some downtime in between shots, or even when I'm walking home and it suddenly begins to rain. Just doing usual everyday things around the house, I suddenly see something that makes me go, wait, stop. In those moments, this camera has always been around. So it just so happens that all the moments that this camera has captured were moments that I truly wanted to hold on to, moments that I genuinely wanted pictures of, moments that I didn't go out to find but that found me, pictures that I genuinely and deeply treasure. Now yes, I could have got all of this with my iPhone or maybe a digital camera that would last a longer time and be a better financial investment, but I simply love shooting film and all the benefits that film brings as a medium. So despite the fragility of this camera, it has been worth every dollar. But instead of seeing it as a quality watch that could last a lifetime, it's more like a comfortable pair of shoes, eventually replaced, always there, but never in the way. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed that, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.